So exactly how do you sew darts? I don't get it. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to show you how to mark, sew, and press darts. But not these. Hey, Chanel here, bringing you weekly videos to help you get better and better with your fashion sewing and be more creative too. So be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. So today we're going to talk about darts. Sewing darts. Darts are for fitting straight pieces of fabric. I liked what my Vogue book said. This is how I learned how to sew. I did have Miss Tucci teach me a lot, but this book came out a lot when she wasn't around. You got to have a really good sewing book. It says darts. It says darts create the difference between the flatness of fabrics and the curving third dimension of the feminine form. You're not going to see darts in men's clothes. Because women are curvier, so how are you going to take a flat piece of fabric and make it fit? And also, you don't want them to really be pronounced. You want them to hide into your fabric. So that's the trick. That's what I'm going to show you. So it says they rank highly among the basic sewing concepts that must be understood before you can construct a garment with any degree of fit. So basically, they're saying they're very basic. You don't see them a lot as much anymore because we're sewing with, well, I'm not really, but with knits. A lot of people just knits, fast sewing. Back in the day when I sewed, we did a lot of couture sewing and taking like silk satins and all different kinds of just beautiful fabrics, and which were usually woven, the threads going this way and just basic woven fabric and making it fit curves. So that's how you do it. I'm going to show you some patterns that, like when you're looking at a pattern, this pattern we use in our school, I don't think they're making it anymore. It's such a great pattern. Just basic skirt using denim, which is woven fabric. And on the back side of it here, you'll see the back of it, because you can't see the front sketch here, but it's those little tiny lines right there. That means there's darts in here. So they're taking a square piece of fabric, cinching a little bit here and there, and making it go into the waist. They're also in the front. We just don't see it in the sketch there. Here's a pair of shorts that were really cute, and it has darts in that. Also in the front, and they're probably hidden underneath these panels also, and if you flip it to the back, there's little darts there. So a lot of times I'll always look at a pattern to see kind of their general fit. And they'll always show zippers and darts and things like that. Now there are, on these bodices, they have bust darts right here. And those are a little more difficult to make. I'm actually going to do a whole nother tutorial just on that one. But they go in at an angle on your fabric and kind of not your even grain. So they're a little trickier to make. Not too hard, but here's one. I really couldn't find many patterns with darts on it. It's right there. That one's more of a little bit more of an angle. They can come in all different angles. Here's another. Now this isn't a bust dart, but it's actually a waist. It's kind of a bust dart on the bottom. It starts up from the waist and goes underneath the bust. So you have. You got to think that this is a curve. So how are we going to shape the fabric to go in like that? It's all kind of thing. Now, I wanted to show you some basic block patterns that I did in design school. They have shoulder darts, waist darts. That's the back. And this is the front. Big shoulder dart, waist dart here. And you can manipulate patterns, change them into other types and styles of patterns by moving the darts around. It's called slash and spread the darts. I think they call it manipulating the darts. Maybe I just called it that, I don't know. And you move the darts different places and all that. That's how basic pattern drafting is also created. So first you take a square piece of muslin, you drape it on the dress form, and then you have to get darts in there. And then from those darts, you move them into other darts. It's a long story. Anyway, I wanted to also show you some garments that I had. this is a jacket I made long ago for a movie called, it was in the contract, it was in a funeral scene. It's really cool. So there is the other part of it. There's a skirt that goes underneath here. And you can see skirt darts right here. So the goal was to hide these so you don't really see them when you're wearing them. There's a fine line of like sewing them like into nothing so that you don't see them. And there's a bunch of them right here. So there's 2 on each side, right in the center back. And then this one, this has like the long contoured or contoured waist dart in here, because I mean, I could have, I could show you something else there, but they're also, it's in the back too, so they're all over the place. What I was trying to say is, I don't want you to get them confused with the princess seam. And this is a jacket I had that shows very clearly the princess seam. So the black right here, that's a princess seam, and that's when you don't have the darts. Those actually take place of the darts, so they just also allow you to shape in fabric just by the shape of the princess panels, like that. Here's also a long garment here with a long, you can actually see it in the inside right here. There is a dart right there. Also, if you ever see clothes coming out of the, like in the stores when you buy them, there might be little holes. So you see the dart there and there's like a little hole. That's because in the factories they punch holes to show you where the, to show the seamsters where to fold it and stuff. So they're always a little hole. I'm also going to do a tutorial on how to release darts to increase a waistband or increase a size. I used to have a trick when I did alterations for people. They'd have like a, 30-inch waist and they needed to be 32, but there was no side seam allowance in there, so we would let the darts out and just gently increase the waist. So it's a really good trick. A lot of tailors wouldn't do it, and so I always found tricks around that stuff. I think there's like a way to do everything in sewing. Sometimes there's not. But so I wanted to then show you, I'm going to show you quickly how to mark, sew, and press a dart. And we're going to start with, this is a skirt pattern that was actually from that denim skirt, this one here. And you can see the darts on the pattern. You only need one of these because they come in, there's like 4 sizes in here, so you find your size. I think it says it right here, when we got 6'8" to, oh my God, to 18. Wow. So you just pick your dart size, you mark it onto the fabric. I'm going to show you the techniques that I used in when I worked in the garment factories. Actually, I wonder if I learned that in design school, because I didn't sew in the garment factories. I wonder how, but I was watching them. Little quick technique to mark these darts onto the fabric, and I'll show you how to sew it real quick, and then how to press it, and then easy peasy, you'll know how to make a dart. All right, I'll show you how to mark this. Okay, so let's say this is our skirt fabric here, and this is actually, this is the center back skirt, and then we would line this up on our pattern. I actually mark the darts before I take the pattern piece off, right after I cut it. And then we're going to find our size. Let's say we do the 12, 14 here. So I'm going to, a lot of times I'll just kind of mark this so I don't lose my way here. Then I'll put a pin in, and also you're going to be marking this on the wrong side. You'll actually have 2 pieces, so if it's, you got the wrong side in, you'll mark it from underneath here. If you have the wrong side up here, you'll mark it here, and then have to do the other side also. So if you're not used to doing darts, I like to pin along the way up here too. So we do, let's say we'll go here to here, and then I'll also clip these little nips right here. So I'll do like a little, and then you'll see why. It's kind of like a little bit of a notch right there. So I just got little clips right there. And then I'm gonna pull this up here and then mark a little dot there. And another one here, goes out, another one there. Okay, then if you want, when you're really good at sewing darts, you don't need to mark these, but then it helps in the beginning to actually just take a pen and connect the dots all the way up to this little notch here, like so, right there. And then this is also on the wrong side of the fabric. You don't want to mark on the right side. These are also with friction pens here. These really help because they iron right off. Then I'm going to put a pin in that center, right at the edge there, so I can know where the center is. And then I'll pull this right. See, I don't know if that you saw that. The pin right in the center there. Gotta watch where the camera's at. Then I'm going to put these two little notches right here. I'm going to put a pin here, so it's not matching up. So I'm going to get these, my marks to match up, both sides, right there. Put a pin there, and then another one halfway down, and get these to match up also, right there, line to line in the back, right there. So now, and right here, I can just put this. Right here, I'm going to stop sewing right there. Start here and go all the way to there. So I'm going to take this to the sewing machine. Okay, I have them pinned here. Going to make sure I have my needle going right in where that line is. Take my pin out there. Get that ready to go. And I went a little bit far off because I have that little nip in there. And I'm on a... see, I don't have my foot pedal on. And then I just start going here, reverse, right there. Go front. I'm just going to sew straight down the line, right there. And I'm going to go right off to, whoops, better stop that. Make sure I got this, my little ending is right here, so what I'm going to do is bring it really close to here and sew right off of the fabric, and then the thread will twist it around right here. And sometimes I'll kind of right about here do a little reverse, just in case that twist comes undone during its life. Right here, little reverse, and I'll sew right off to infinity. And then right there, and stop it, pick it up here. So you got this little twist in the thread, then I trim it off. So right here, so I'll just leave that tail there, and I got it right on my mark. And if I look in the back too, I got it right on there, a hair off of here, but it looks pretty good. And then what you want to do is make sure that this doesn't have a pucker in it. It's just really nice and smooth right here. It comes into nothing like that. So that's a really good dart. Then I'll show you how to press it. So actually, before I show you how to press it, I want to show you what a bad dart would look like. I'll just go over here, just marked it real quick. I have another dart here, and my ending is here. What makes a bad dart is if you don't go really slim into there. Never know how to do that. Alright, so right here, actually it's not too bad, but it does have a little bit more of a pucker there. Sometimes you'll have a really bad pucker. Actually, you can kind of see the shadowed dimple of it right here. It'll dimple like that. Whereas this one is a little flatter like that. Actually, I'll go iron it and then we can see it from there. Okay, we have them both sewn here. We have a good one, or a good one, and then a not so good one. Now, this is right here, if this were a skirt, this is the center back of the skirt. You always want your, I wouldn't say always, but they call these the dart legs to go towards the center. It just helps them drape on your body a little bit better. So we would just be pressing on the right side because we want to get this really flat here. And you just take it and press right in to that, let it cool. Let's get the other one. I forgot which one was the right one. Which one was good? We'll be able to tell. Actually, sometimes they actually drape really well. Some fabrics too will to really be clear on the dart leg. So we have, this goes really smooth into nothing here, and this one has a little bit more of a pucker. Right, I don't know if you can see it, a little dimple right there. And then this one actually goes a little smoother right here. So that's how you sew a dart. Well, there you have it. Sewing darts is pretty easy. Just make sure you match up the lines and sew it into infinity, and mark it the right way. Using those little pins is the best way to do it. And do some practicing. Get some cotton fabric out here, find a pattern with some darts in it, mark them, and sew it. Do some practice and you'll get really good at it. So if you have any comments you'd like to leave, please let me know. I'll answer you right away. And if anything you want to see in a tutorial, I'd love to know it. And don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next sew bit.